So will it ferment is a bit of a misnomer. I know it's all going to ferment. It's just whether it's going to taste good or not. And so we're going to do this sort of in real time. We'll make the ferments and then we'll taste them down the road, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to start with beets, mainly because I have a slightly higher level of confidence that this is going to taste pretty good. And we're going to do this the same way we'd make sour Reuben or sauerkraut. It's pretty simple. I've got a scale. I've got my jar with an airlock. I'm going to use a small jar because I don't really want to make big jars of any of this stuff. I'm going to use a grater. A food processor is a lot faster, but I don't think we necessarily need to employ that. Also, it's loud. Knife, salt, of course. I've got some water because I don't know how much brine this is actually going to release. Okay, so let's just get going. Let's just cut these beets up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just removing the stems, and then I don't want to remove the skin because there's a lot of microbes on there. But like these beets have been kind of beat up, and like the way they get shoveled out and stuff is they get hit with the edge of the shovel, and that causes some issues. And I just want to get the kind of the parts that I wouldn't normally want to eat out. Okay, so I had to remove a fair amount of material from some of these, unfortunately. Which is kind of disappointing because I don't really like to waste this stuff. But anyways, and you'll notice that I used golden beets, which are quite nice, and then some candy stripe, which have these beautiful colors inside. I didn't use purple beets because I didn't want to have to wear gloves or wash my hands, and they stain, and they're all quite delicious, so it doesn't really matter. And I want these nice colors, so I'm just going to grate these all up. Okay, so I think that's probably enough. And don't do that anymore. So now I'm going to get the jar and just move it on to the scale here. Should tar to 0 now. Good. I'm going to just mix these up a little bit just so I get kind of a rainbow color. I don't know how much water this is going to release. It should actually release a fair amount, but let me just see here. Don't really need to break this down like the way we would sauerkraut because the cabbage has those really strong cell walls, but I've really shredded the heck out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that we get the jar fairly full here. And okay, so we've got 254 grams. And I am going to add enough water just to push this so that it's submerged. Oh, that really is going down. Push that down with my fingers. Okay, so that got us to 400 grams, which is convenient, but also I was very strategic at that. So that means we want about 2.5% salt, of course. So 10 grams. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it just on top like this. It's probably not the smartest thing to do. And then I'm going to mix this all around. Okay, so this is not really working. This makes more sense. I'm going to dump this all into this jar here, or this bowl rather. I don't need my scale anymore because we've got everything weighed. And now I'm just going to mix this around. I'm just going to get this more distributed, I think. I wouldn't be too worried about it, really. I mean, that salt's going to just disassociate into the ions and spread through the water, but either way, this is just precaution, I guess. Okay, now I've successfully spilled this all over my cutting board, which is fine. I'm going to just push that down. I'm not going to use a glass weight here because I don't think too much of this is going to float, and I've got enough liquid in there that I'm not too worried. Lid goes on. Just gonna pop this airlock out because there's nothing in it. Put some water in here. Reassemble that. Okay, so step one is done. We've got this all shredded up and brined and ready to ferment. Let's see what happens in, let's say, 14 days. I'll see you then. Okay, so here we are 12 days later. This was pretty active, so I kind of stopped it a little earlier than we might normally. Let's give it a try. Smells earthy like beets. It's lost a lot of color, which makes sense. Okay, here we go. Quite salty. That's really good. Nice sweetness from the beets. Preserved a lot of that flavor. There's still a little bit of crunch, but it's also soft at the same time. It's pretty complex. I will definitely do this again. Maybe I'll put some ginger in it or something. But even on its own, worked out pretty well.